Towards the on-hit, you have enough space with the Xin and the Scion. The Poppy ban, understandably, because Carry always wants to play for counter pick, but it is kind of rough here, because you'd love to have gone that yourself, as this was a thing that has actually, I know Carrier has played. I think he's going to last minute swap to Nautilus or L.
Maybe they're taunting Gen G because they're like, oh no, our coach actually does have their headset plugged in. The rule is pretty good at Xayah.
Yeah.
He has been able to make it happen on this champion in the past. So I'm looking forward to seeing whether it's going to work out here as T1, as we mentioned already, a very T1 draft moving here into game number 1. We'll see whether they can take down a Gen G. Imagine if they do it on red side. Let's get into it.
Easy grasp stacks on the enemy team, right? They're all very short range. I think particularly when you're playing into the type of compositions where you need to be very on point with your main engage, you need to go in and like basically flashy or get big engages. Aftershock is great, but I don't mind it here because realistically you are going to be doing a whole lot of fighting. Because T1 is going to continuously look to force fights.
Yeah, Groot. It's just a different I am Groot, or I am Canyon. That's all right. Faker dashing forward here. Remember, Chovy, no flash available. The Charm is still going to go wide. Great sidestep as he throws Faker under the turret. The Sand Soldiers come out, and Chovy is well and truly okay. Faker looking a little worse for wear at the end of this one. And the flash is going to come back up now earlier.
So, Faker blocks the dash, but then the Charm misses, the W misses.
Yeah, and he's just like, no flash.
Ice cold.
Damn.
Or I thought Gen G was going to pivot towards the bot side, but instead might be looking for a punish here towards Doran. Wanting to let this Dragon go. Knows T1 is always going to play for that.
Yep. Over he goes. Canyon just going to drive the Scion back. And remember, he used the ulti to get to lane. So he's just going to get impaled and destroyed. That's going to be first blood going over to Canyon. They do trade the Dragon for it. But as you said, maybe not necessary to exactly fight for that one. As another Chemtex or Orcs, what the heck, dude? You're in the space right now.
Is in a much more spot. I think that generally those games are slower. And then in game 5, it's the pressure. Faker
just slammed into the wall. The impale as well. He had absolutely no option. Nothing he was allowed to do. The utilization of the built terrain there, gorgeous from Gen G. It's kind of, I assume, what they're going to try and do here is the Charm is going to connect onto Canyon, who's looking to drive away. Faker gets in front of him. Great handshake to keep him in position. But not too much more is going to come through, and this is what happens when he takes all of the kills. It's going to be a Charm connecting. Chains of Corruption come down as well with the target presented, and Keen, he's definitely killable as out goes Ona. And they're able to just take the Jace from underneath the unkillable Skarner.
Some pretty big mistakes there, actually. Kind of getting caught off guard. There's first some anti-synergy between T1. And then Keen thinking, well, Canyon's out. I should be fine as well. The re-engage.
Oh dear, Duro flashing for it. Does find the Charm. Hostile takeover is fantastic, though, as Ona possibly separated, but in goes Chovy. Gumayushi not going to get bailed out of this one as Ona gets on top of the Emperor, and the knock-up is there. The 1-2 punches from Gen G are continuing, as finally down goes the Skarner, but I don't know whether Doran is going to be able to do much more. The flash comes out from Chovy to answer. The flash forward from Doran. And Gen G will find the teamfight victory, and the Rift Herald wasn't even taken.
Also, a lot of sums used, and that means no flash for Guma at the Rift fight.
We are fighting immediately as Ona goes in. Already, Keen is down, and there goes Duro as well. Out will go Gen G. They're trying to escape, but Faker, he is just spirit rushing after Chovy. The Charm once again going to miss, and it's a 2-man impale, but there's no one left. Ona will finally, Ruler will finally come in to try and hit Ona. But Ruler's out. He realizes that it's getting too hot in the kitchen as the flash Charm doesn't land. And Chovy will be able to make it out alive. My God, okay, Chovy goes in! He finds Gumayushi and he's looking to try and make his way out those grass stacks. Really working overtime, but now he may have put his team in an uncomfortable position. It's Ruler versus 4, and T1 are still running away. You're exactly right, that Featherstorm is so powerful here as the teleport comes in and T1 say, all right, You can live, Mr. Ruler. The problem is he might be in range of the Frozen Heart, which could be a problem. Charm is going to come on through as Ona is going to be discovered here as Canyon holds him in place, but this is just a 1v1 happening in 2 different spots. Emperor's Divide to get rid of him as Chovy says, get away from me. And he says yes. Crescent Guard going to keep Ona alive, and in the end, it's a stalemate.
What I want to highlight though is that even though that fight ended up feeling good for Gen G, because of the kills at the beginning, the gold lead still shrunk. Right after that whole sequence, this though, with Owner not having his ultimate and have it to back, I think this Otacon is always going to be gone.
Yep, there's a train.
It's the fight afterwards though.
You're exactly right. So it should be this Otacon going down, but there is the flash forward. A phenomenal knock-up from Doran, and he's getting in amongst it. Canyon trying to drive his way out. Let's see whether Ruler can keep himself alive as the Featherstorm comes in. He flashes away. Will he have the Blade Caller? That's the question. As Gumayushi's underneath the turret, he's got the bailout. He is still going to die, as now Keen is trying to get the work done. And yes, you got the Otacon, but it's a 1 for 3.
It was 10 minutes, 50 minutes of exposition, and now it's action, 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 action. And
Yeah,
guess what?
only.
We're about to fight again.
Control Ward goes in. Keen able to take that one down. Doesn't find the Shock Blast, though. As all right, Doran will get knocked up. Of course, he's very happy to take damage. He's Scion. And Chemtech Dragon, number 2.
No Chovy ult. I think they have to let this one.
Yeah, that's going to be Soul Point.
They're going to let it go. Soul Point going over.
Yeah.
T1 not giving them an open. Went down to
Goes
1.
down to 1, yeah. The Charm is going to miss once again, though, as now fight on a couple of different fronts, as flipping in is Keen and trying to throw away Doran, but he's a brick wall. And now the knockup comes through again, but if you're engaging onto the Scion, it's what T1 wants, unless they're not able to find an inroad. And Doran, he'll try to get bailed out. They will take the Rakan, and the bailout actually works. And now Chovy's trying to free hit. Owner is down so incredibly low. The Shock Plus, they're going to defend him. But still this turret is going to fall. Chovy trying to find the Sand Soldier damage. And they clear out the minion wave. And T1 will be sticking around. It's a 1 for nothing in favor of T1. They take the Dragon as well. They're trading up. The gold is still there for Gen G. But T1 are still getting what they want in this game.
It's a thriller, Atlas. Canyon still has his Impale, is going to try and deliver Owner. Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful Impale. Still Keen's going to get traded. It's just trades everywhere. Faker able to pick that one up. Now the hostile takeover, just zoning them away. Ruler doing a fair bit of damage here as they're just looking to steal away a bread buff. They will be able to do that as Faker just cannot jump Chovy today. He can't do it. Canyon goes in. He's going to go out via the Death Chamber, and Chovy will find an Emperor's Divide onto 3, but doesn't get Guma, and he will take him down. Ruler here going to have to use a max range ulti, avoiding Faker's damage as well, as Ruler's positioning has been fantastic, but that Blade Caller could have been better. And Gen G, they will keep a couple alive, but once again, it's a great trade for T1. Well, Duro might be in a little bit of danger here, as he needs to be careful of Carrier. Canyon moving away from Faker, who finds him on a potential flank angle. Wind becomes lightning, and the Battle Dance is going to get Duro out. As Keen wanting to take some pot shots if he can. But look at this, the Doran stand in front of it tactic.
Yeah, they do need Chovy or Ruler. No one else is going to...
Okay, so flash forward as Faker is caught out, and they dive on top of him, but the counter knockup's a fantastic. Emperor's Divide only onto Owner is good for T1 as Gumayushi looking to get bailed out, and it's going to work, and the Charm this time lands. Double kill for Gumayushi, and T1 just leave them in the dirt. Ruler's wondering what the heck happened, and he will use his ult, he will try, but the blade calls nothing, and T1 say it's Baron time. And I don't know whether it's going to extend past this, as T1 here in this first game are looking poised to win. Charm going to go wide as Chovy finds 3! The Impale does as well, and Ruler is just able to free hit. Down goes Gumayushi. They deal with the turret, but Doran is so incredibly low. Chovy is still going to die in this fight. Canyon is just trying to keep them interested as T1 look to back away. It's a big fight, but it's only a 2 for 1 thus far. Can Gen G get more? That's going to be the question as the handshake from Carrier. Oh, lock in the POM already. I don't care who wins.
The Baron doesn't end the game, but that's enough. Right? Like, now this means that they might give up a turret or 2, they might fall behind, but That's not going to be enough to ensure that we are not getting an Elder flip for our first game.
Oh, that is what we need. And what Faker said was the situation isn't that bad. That's basically what he said.
It's true.
He's going to find a charm. This situation's bad, but if you're a Gen G fan, as they eliminate the jungler, and T1, they get rid of the biggest tank on the side of Gen G as well. Next one going to be Chovy as far as that is concerned. And so now, Doran just able to stand up. The charm is going to hit the minion. As T1 are just fishing for it. Gen G have defended this turret pretty expertly, though, as you can see. It has taken and damage, I think.
What probably should be the final fight. Atlas is about to take off. Chovy has a stopwatch.
He has his teleport as well, as he's all the way in. Ona taking some shock blast damage, but he doesn't really care about it too much. Remember, Chemtech Soul going to be powerful here as T1 wastes no time. They've started this up. Doran just trying to stand in front. It's looking a little 50-50-ish for now.
As is on the ward.
Yeah, spotted on a flank angle, but they also know he's there because they just got hit by a shock blast.
Are we flipping? Are we flipping?
Oh God, we are. We're flipping. It's going to be Canyon that locks down the dragon. Owner is in so much trouble. Empress Divide picks them all up, and it's Gen G that finds the value. Chovy can rest easy now as 4 are lying on the floor, and Doran is not going to be able to do it alone. Gen G not going to be broken in their win streak. They'll move it to 19 instead.
Canyon wins. The game is done.
Do you know what it was, Chronicler? It was a flip. Canyon wins. And that's game 1, ladies and gentlemen. The Nexus will be taken down. And then, like, Chovy gets 2 of, like, the best sweep angles that he's found. 43,000 damage on this Azir. But you can see that dip. That dip when T1 gets that moment. Oftentimes, the series is just over. Gen G, though, they found their window. They got to that Elder. They won that flip, and they win the game.
Yeah, you can.
I feel like Galio does do more damage than he ever used to.
Well, that, and also with Galio, you can go with a lot of different builds, right? You can go more damage heavy.
Yeah.
Versus more. Yeah, this
Harry
is
is just having a good time, I think.
Versus more. And I like the Jim pick because it's a good pick for Ruler. He's been solid on it. It also is, I'd say, Gumeyushi's second best champion together with the Varus. I think these two are kind of his hallmarks. As it is a blind pick here for Carrier. Rel would make a ton of sense with this style composition, right? We are looking at a ton of team fight. Wombo combo, or the Braum as Carrier as like just having a giggle again, is obviously really strong. I'm kind of wondering whether Dura would want to go Nico here. I'm double checking. It is open.
It is open.
To have a bit more pressure in lane, but the Alistar, I do think, has a lot of value into the Wukong specifically, right? And being able to catch the arrow without too much of an issue.
I think the T1 are looking in prime position to deliver us exactly what we want.
Which is a free game.
That's what we need.
I'm not gonna... I want a trilogy. I don't want no 2-0 Atlas.
Yep. So Gen G, hopefully they don't have enough damage to get through the enemy Nexus. And in fact, we do get that game 3. But getting ahead of ourselves, let's get into game 2.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
Contest Ashe Brawl level 1. But yeah, without a grenade, there's just no shot that you can clear. So they're gonna play it safe on the end of the world. Being allowed to base, yeah, this dragon is not going.
Arrow.
Not happening.
Will fly down and it does just, you know, they scout the river. And that is just going to be thanks for the leash, the T1. Canyon? Wait a second. Oh my God, no, you're not allowed to do that. Well, you're not allowed to get away. That is absolutely true. And in fact, it is. As the teleport comes in from the Galio, and Chovy finds the Justice Punch. There's a great Cyclone, but a good Pulverize is there as well.
I don't know, wait until we have like 2 items and then we can maybe play the game.
Chovy's under the turret. Okay, curtains. Faker. Gonna get hit by the last one as Chovy flashes for it and shuts down the goat. And also had a cow waiting at the wings. As it's now Galio versus the Rumble on the bottom side of the map. As Gumeyushi gonna get headbutted, takes an arrow straight to the face. Doesn't actually have to use the ulti though, that's kind of a big deal. I was expecting him to maybe be forced to use that by overextending a little.
Oh, this comp is hard to engage into. Keria is also looking for a cancel on the ultimate for Keen, I'm sure.
The Rumble very far away, but Faker can also cancel the ultimate, depending on how well they position themselves. Is okay. Equalizer doing basically nothing. Shockwave onto 3 though, that's fantastic, but still, Keen able to burn them down. The Rift Herald going to be secured as Canyon picks up the eye. Chovy might be the sacrifice as he looks to try and Justice Punch his way forward as Canyon just rolls himself a taxi and gets the heck out of there. Oh my, are you gonna go for a charge as well? Takes the turret, and he's still gonna die. Gets a flash out from Keria. Oh, you get back into, you are not allowed to do that. And he's not, he's still going to die.
Look at his face!
My God, that was amazing. Yeah, look at that grin.
Can TP to the wave or to one of the traps. Oh, they're gonna
wait a second.
look for the cross map.
It's the Faker Global Taunt. The train is being called, the Brittle comes through, he flashes and still gets knocked up. Collects them with the Shockwave, but doesn't really matter here as T1 will look for the first Cloud Drake of the game. They'll get that, but it's only their second Dragon. Gen.G, they get their prize. They're looking to lock down even more as the Otacon is being started.
Keen and Chovy, or Chovy's here, Keen has TP. He's gonna back first, but Canyon did ult.
Yeah, this is dangerous.
Oh, Ruler has ult though. They're squishy. Oh yeah, they're gonna go for this fight.
Yep, teleport going to come in. Canyon, not quite close enough, but still, arrow connects onto Chovy. Let's see, there's some brilliant knockup. Another one, four-man. The jumping castle has been picked up, and there is the Otacon secured by T1, but can they get anyone out alive? Keria, that's a no. Doran, that's also a no. But at least Gumayusi and Ona will stay standing, and they have the permanent buff from both the Dragon and, of course, the Otacon sort of going right now. It is not really anyone fighting too much around us. Never mind. There's the engage and the max range from Ruler as well to keep him in position, but Keria is there to play defense. It's beautifully done, and maybe Gen.G are reaching that point where damage. Able to do damage.
Keen is on a flank angle on the Ornn. You have to be a little bit tricky about it because Keria otherwise can cancel it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they do. They just want to get the door. They want to get the door so bad.
Well, Keria isn't putting it up, but that does mean he's taking a lot of damage.
Yep, and he can't put it up, right? Especially not with Keen out of vision. Gonna get breathed on here by Ona just a little bit. The rest of T1 coming on over, trying to offer the damage if they can. Canyon wanting to assist, and he gets over the wall. There's the Cyclone. Canyon flashes out, takes so much damage, as now Keen calls the Ram, and of course Keria is there to block it. The Dragon is gonna get taken, and the Curtain Call is just gonna be unanswered. A four-man knockup yet again, as the heroic entrance this time does nothing, and the Justice Punch is blocked. Gen.G, they lose their Gargoyle. But it's just Gargoyle for Dragon. It's elemental animal in trade for one another. And once again, we have a relatively even trade, right? So the Galio is going to get more and more scary, but Keen is going to get less and less relevant as far as his damage is concerned. Ruler does have the Lord Dom.
Oh, the window.
Yeah.
Here for T1, Canyon might have to sacrifice his life.
Well, there is the Grand Starfall. Okay, Call of the Forge God as well, gets a triple knockup, and the steal on the Baron for Canyon at the same time. He's got a GA, the curtains are being called, and maybe it's on more than just this Baron fight. Maybe this is the game winner, as Faker is getting encroached on, will get taken down, and Doran, he only has a sliver left, and the Deadly Flourish, it's named pretty well, but that last bullet, that's going to do it, and the poor man with a door is unable to hold it here for T1. And this time around, the Braum wasn't there. He wasn't there to block the train. And Gen.G, they just drove right over the top of T1. They'll take down these Nexus turrets. They will move their record here, their LCK record, to 20 games in a row. And they will continue to make history here in the LCK. They are not stopping here today. Didn't quite work because he missed, but that's fine. We're gonna have a look at the damage numbers. 21k here for the Jhin. Gumayusi doing most in the game, but unable to actually get over the line, and We were mentioning, and I was especially talking about this a lot, was the sort of lack of damage situation. That never became too much of a factor in this game. And Keen on the on, absolutely fantastic. I do still think there was a trundle angle, but they didn't take it. Chovy gonna pick up the player of the match because, you know,